The Unexpected Family, Chapter 8, titled Church. Sunday morning started out to be a great day. Diane got up early and put a roast in the crock pot. After starting the vegetables, she went outside to water the flowers John had planted. The backyard looked great as the sun began coming up over the horizon. Diane, sitting in the rocking chair while reading the newspaper, was enjoying the quietness of the morning. She heard James calling her name, still protesting having to go to church. "Since your father is home, you could stay with him, but you'll be missing something." Following her to her room, he sat on her bed asking questions about church. As soon as Chuck entered, he and James began wrestling on the bed. "If you guys mess up my bed, you'll have to remake it." "She means it, Dad. You better stop. What's for breakfast?" Diane told James it was almost ready. "Did you make your bed?" she added. "Not yet," shaking his head no. She pointed in the direction of his room. "She's tough, Dad, but she cooks good. I guess I'll keep her." James got up and threw a pillow at his dad, saying, "You better make your bed or you won't get breakfast." "Thanks for the warning, son." James left the room while Chuck remained sitting on the bed, watching her put on makeup. "Did you need something?" she asked. "Where are you going?" He wanted to know. "Church. You're welcome to go. First Baptist in town." "I'll pass. James can go if he wants to. I think Russell goes there. Mostly to pick up girls, not to worship." She shook her head at this. "Now, if you don't mind, I need to get dressed." She pointed to the door. The guys were standing in the kitchen when she came down the hall. Chuck watched as she stirred the vegetable. James said, "Wow, you scrub up nicely." Diane laughed at the audience, watching her make pancakes. James ate like there was no tomorrow. But Chuck didn't have much to say, retreating back to his room when he finished. Naturally, James did not go. It was now that Diane realized, "I don't have a car." She sent James to get Russell's phone number. "Dad said you shouldn't ride with Russell." Diane wanted to know why and marched down the hall, meeting Chuck halfway. "I need his number to see if he's already left." Chuck grabbed his keys and said, "I'll take you." James, stay inside until I get back." Diane wasn't going to argue and accepted his offer. The church wasn't far, but the quiet ride made it seem forever. She finally asked, "The cat got your tongue?" He shook his head no. "For someone who likes to talk, you sure are quiet now," she added. "If I tell you something, will you not take it the wrong way?" "Depends on what you say, I guess." "Would you not sit with Russell?" "I beg your pardon." "See, I knew you'd be offended. I just know Russell, and that's all. I know he will hit on you, and She interrupted his explanation. "First off, I'm going to church, not the local bar. Second, I'm married. Third, I'm a grown woman. Thanks for your advice, but Russell does not have anything I need. Another thing, you need to have that boy of yours in church." He pulled the Suburban into the parking lot. She thanked him for the ride, asking, "If you are not too mad, will you pick me up at noon?" When he stepped into the kitchen, it didn't take him long to reconsider going to church. "James," he hollered, "get ready." James entered the kitchen fully dressed and said, "I figured we were going. I don't know how, but she has a way of making people do things they didn't plan on doing, don't she, Dad?" She came into the sanctuary talking with her new Sunday school teacher. She didn't notice the boys until Russell came over and pointed them out to her. She was glad to see them. Russell moved in right behind her, but Chuck stuck his foot out, stopping him from sitting by her. Russell chuckled. "Man, you got it bad." He gave Russell the eye and said, "You don't know anything. She's just my housekeeper." Russell asked, "Then can I ask her out?" There was no reply. Soon the music began, and before long the service was over. Both Chuck and James said they were glad they decided to attend. Would you like to go eat dinner? Russell asked as he continued to toss his keys up into the air. Diane made roast. Come to our house, James answered. Chuck popped him in the back of the head and said Russell already had plans. No, I don't. Roast sounds good, he said. When Chuck popped James's head again, the confused child said, What? Russell was amazed at the house, commenting several times that he would like to hire her on the spot. I'll double what he's paying you, Diane would say. Well, if I get fired from here, I'll give you a call. James would interrupt. Dad, make Russell stop. James was becoming sensitive about the issue. Chuck would not comment as he watched the flirting dinner guests closely. Russell knew what was going on between them before they knew it themselves. He would just sit back and watch the romance unfold, liking the idea of his best friend dating again. It had been tough watching his friend's world come apart. He began to notice Chuck was watching her. He also noticed the little things, particularly the fact that it had been years since Chuck had been to church. Russell knew the only reason he came this morning was Diane. Russell was enjoying himself, and trying to get Chuck to admit he was interested in Diane would be fun. Besides, he liked the challenge of flirting with her and staying one step away from Chuck's temper. The men retreated to the den to watch the ball game. If Russell would go into the kitchen, Chuck would follow shortly thereafter. But Diane didn't have a clue what was going on. She later vanished into her room for a nap, using the quiet time to call home and check on the status of her husband. Although James proved to excel in the act of practical jokes, he had met his match with Diane. When he taped the light switches with dead bugs, she stuck a plastic roach at the bottom of his milk glass. Then he fastened a rubber band around the rinse hose in the kitchen sink, taking pictures of her getting soaked when she turned the faucet on. When James and Ryan developed the film at the 1-hour photo at the grocery store, while she did the weekly shopping, a truce was made. Unbeknownst to the boys, she had taken a photo of them while sleeping, completely surrounded by baby dolls. She could hear the screaming for 4 aisles over. Ah! There you got it. That was chapter 8. Let me know what you think.